This week on Right Now Deep Dive, the mainstream media would have you believe that you are free. And one of those basic freedoms is the right to vote. You get to choose which party and which MP you want sitting in Downing Street, right? But what is becoming more and more obvious is that all major parties answer to the same crown corporations and bloodline families. Follow the money, as the age-old advice goes. We saw blatant evidence of this with the UK government response to the pandemic. Yes, you can do the air quotes. The Conservative Prime Minister Boris Johnson rolled out to the podium flanked by Chris Whitty and someone the WHO sent over for a giggle that week, and proceeded to hand down the COVID mandates, not laws, mandates, with advice. Do the quotes again.
Each and every one of us is now obliged to join together to halt the spread of this disease.
From Bill Gates and his World Health Organization, who voted for Bill Gates? The WHO, that's who. These mandates put the final nail in the coffin of small businesses across the country. All the better to rely on the government, my dear. And what about the opposition? The Labour Party, the party of the people. Wanted more draconian lockdowns, more masks, more fascism, and more TikTok dancing dickheads. So it's clear, at least to me, that all majority parties answer to the same taskmasters. They follow the same agenda. And it's also clear that foundations, charities and corporations have a huge sway over our elected officials. Rachel is an entrepreneur and one of the original dragons of Dragon's Den. During the madness of the COVID era, Rachel began to realise that all was not as it seems. For someone successful in the business world, she was shocked to see the clear collusion between governments and major corporations.
We need to find ways of communication that are not censored. We need to find ways to join together those of us who see what is going on. It's not going to take all 7 billion people on the planet, just enough of a critical mass of us to come together.
For example, our current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, not Rashid Sunak, Mr. Biden.
And whether it's the United Kingdom or just today, we've got news that Rashid Sunak is now the Prime Minister.
His father-in-law is the founder of Infosys, which is one of the leading companies pushing digital IDs. So guess what he's pushing? All the better for the Great Reset, my dear, or Rockefeller transition. Buried in the background, you will often find BlackRock and Vanguard. Such is the case with Mr. Elon Musk and his flitter on Twitter. Funded to the tune of $25 billion from Morgan Stanley, whose shareholders include BlackRock and Vanguard. But don't worry, Mr. Musk is definitely against big tech giant. He's having a pop at Apple at the moment, whose shares include BlackRock and Vanguard. So what I want to discuss with Rachel is whether there really is a collusion between governments and big corporations. Are the WEF young global leaders fed into all major parties have any chance of forming a government? And if so, do you really have a vote?